everybody. Old Roger D here for Channel Donstar. I believe this is going to be an IMO, even though it's not available on Blu-ray or DVD anymore, but anywhere, but it is available on Netflix. First off, please excuse the noise in the background. I have my air conditioning on because here in Illinois it's like 98 degrees right now. Oh, where do I start? Where do I start? Stranger Things. I had heard about this show from a friend saying, "Hey, have you heard about that show?" And I was like, "No." And he said, "Well, Winona Ryder's in it, and it's on Netflix, and it looks like something you might like." And weeks have gone by. Well, not weeks, maybe 1 week went by. And then all of a sudden on Facebook, it just erupted. Everybody was talking about this show. And I said, well, let me give it a chance, you know. So I got the 8 episodes, and the first night I started watching it, I watched 4 episodes in a row. I could not turn the damn thing off. It was brilliant. It was amazing. It is a... Stranger Things is a love letter to the cinema of the 80s. It's Stephen King wrapped up with 80s technology, storytelling, originality, just great storytelling. And being that it's in 8 parts, you have this total long time, 8 hours, to introduce all these wonderful characters and follow them along the storyline, which is a mystery. You really don't know where the story's going. Even until the final episode, you still don't know where everything is going. And that's a beauty thing to it. I say it's a love letter to the 80s, being that it takes place in 1983. The story takes place in 1983. So the rock songs are all 80s rock songs. The score is very John Carpenter, very Tangerine Dream, synthesizer score. And again, bringing up Stephen King, it deals with a group of kids that get involved in this event happening in their town, in their small little town, and one of their friends disappears, and they try to investigate to find out what happens to him. Very similar to a story I wrote, a screenplay I wrote called Pumpkin Seeds, which is sitting in a drawer somewhere. But those interested, write me. I can tell you the story. But it's beautifully done. Like I said, it stars Winona Ryder, who at the very beginning, I was a little taken aback by her. I was like, wow, she's really overacting here. But by the 2nd and 3rd episode, I was like really warming up to her, because she's amazing in this thing. She really plays the mother of a child who's gone missing and is possibly going a little crazy, hearing voices, getting signs from her supposedly dead child, which we don't know if he's dead or just missing or kidnapped. There's this whole mystery around this corporation in this town and this power company, and there's possibly aliens, and there's possibly alternate realities, and it's just freaking fantastic. The Duffer Brothers, I've never heard of them. They did a few movies, but they created and wrote this thing and put this thing together, and they are geniuses to just, again, like I said, capture that feeling of the 80s, to tap into that. I just recently wrote to somebody. I sent a message who just started watching the show, Brandon Skinslip. His thing will be up here somewhere, a link to him. Go subscribe to him. He's a great guy. He's a connoisseur of B-movies and exploitation films, and he knows his stuff, man. He is one of the most knowledgeable people that I know of those types of movies. And he was just into the second episode, and I said, it's weird. There's this odd resurgence of the feeling of the 80s, and maybe because people that grew up in the 80s are running Hollywood now, and maybe not running Hollywood because they make crap like blockbusters, where they should be making stuff like this that are blockbusters. But anyway, and like The Final Girls, It Follows, The Babadook to some extent, Turbo Kid, and this, it's like filmmakers are going back to set their movies, Road Warrior, to set their movies into that style of filmmaking, that 80s with that music. There is a character in this movie that's like a lost girl. That's all I'll say. I don't want to go into spoilers with this thing, but let me just say there's like a lost girl played by Molly Brown, who I've never heard of, and she's beautiful. She's amazing in this whole thing. The sheriff. This whole series, being that it's 8 parts, have so many different characters sprinkled throughout this town, and just like a Stephen King novel, you get to know, since they have the time of 8 hours, you get to know all of these characters, and they all seem to, even though they're all different from one another and have conflicts with one another, they all seem to come together at the end to battle the big bad, and it works. It works amazingly. I can't speak enough about how great this thing is. I'm looking around. I'm looking at my notes that I have here. Spoilers. I have notes here. This not even gonna look. This has the feeling of a great movie that audiences would love, like The Goonies or Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters, or something like that, where audiences cheer. Although, like I said, it takes place at 8 hours. It's the perfect water cooler series where you watch an episode and then you go to work and you talk about it afterwards. Again, Stranger Times, if you've never heard of this, which I don't know why you wouldn't have, because it's all over now. Everybody's talking about it. And like I said, I just came across it, and in 3 days I decided I mainlined it, and I just finished the final episode, and it was so satisfying. It was so great. There is talk about a possible second season, which I don't know what they would do unless it's a whole nother group of characters. But all I want to say is, if you haven't heard of it, search it out. It's on Netflix. You can see it all 8 episodes together, like the brilliant Netflix does. Geez, Orange is the New Black, and Punisher, and not Punisher, Daredevil, and so many great shows that Netflix is producing. See Stranger Times. If I'm saying that right. Now I'm thinking that ain't the right title. It's an odd title. But definitely see it, and put it on your list and watch it and enjoy it. It's great. I can't praise it enough. It's pretty damn amazing. And all the kids, all the actors in there are fantastic. They're great. And the score is amazing. All right, enough said. Old Roger D for IMO reviews. Watch the wave to the people. All right, go watch the show. It's great. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.